to some other stories now. Despite the BCCI's opposition, the ICC is set to pass a new financial model. But the majority of the ICC board members on Saturday voted in favour of the restructuring of the revenue sharing model, despite vehement opposition from the BCCI representative Vikram Limaye. Now, the ICC board met to discuss the changes pertaining to the revenue model, where India, England and Australia were supposed to get the major share of the revenue as the big three, a move that was opposed by the other test-playing nations and also by England and Australia themselves. And for more on this, we are joined in by our correspondent, Shimon. Shimon, this is an interesting bit of the development. The ICC says it is reforming the entire model. What more do we have on this?
The ICC's move has been principally passed yesterday. A resolution in principle has been passed, and in April it will go to the board meeting. And in this, principally when it was passed, the 7 out of 9 test-playing countries have in fact voted in favor. Only India and Sri Lanka were opposed to it. Apart from that, all the other countries, including Pakistan, Australia, England. It is very interesting that England and Australia, which are in the present setup of revenue distribution, Australia, the big three, that is India, Australia and England, were gaining. This new proposal is a change of the present structure, and that is based on faith and equity, and that is one of the reasons why BCCI. Now the point is, if BCCI is earning or India is earning, the distribution pattern of revenue is directly and should be directly proportional to the income. Now, if India and BCCI are generating more than 50% of the cricket economy in the world, how can the distribution pattern be different? That is the premises, that is the basic principle on which the BCCI is resting its case, and that is why they have opposed it tooth and nail, and so was Sri Lanka. Apart from that, other countries, and it is understandably that Pakistan has voted in favor because it doesn't want India to get the revenue, and but it was very difficult to fathom why Australia and England, who were gaining in this present setup, also voted in favor of the change of revenue pattern. Now it will be interesting to see in April what happens, but this seems that there will be a paradigm shift from the revenue structure, which was favoring the big three, which was directly proportional to the revenue earned by these three big test-playing nations.
Absolutely, Suman. But considering that India has opposed this broad, restructuring that is being brought about, will the ICC still be able to go ahead, considering the clout which India actually enjoys in the ICC?
It will be difficult but not impossible, because when it will go to the ICC board meeting, which is in April. Now, principally, they have already passed it, so we can but technically it can only be passed in the month of April, by which time the BCCI will try its best to at least to bring about some kind of amendment, which is at this stage it will be difficult. But most important point over here is that the role of Shashank Manohar, the dual role of Shashank Manohar, who was the BCCI president, the same Shashank Manohar had voted in favor of the big three and always supported India's revenue pattern. India's getting the major chunk of revenue pattern because India has been earning it. Now it is, but it's a natural justice all over the world that your income and expenditure should be, and also the kind of the revenue generation you are able to meet. Now understand that the world.
Absolutely, Suman. Thank you very, very much. We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining in with those inputs.